our good friend who filled in at very last moment, and we appreciate sincerely. He's a former WCW Tag Team Champion. He was a member of the Ravens flock. He is Scotty Riggs. Mr. Riggs, how you doing, bud?
The world's most dangerous man with an eye patch. He's doing good
That's
tonight.
right.
How you guys doing?
We're doing really well. You know what, Scotty? I was noticing.
You see, I can't throw Shamrock shoes, but Shamrock can't wear an eye patch. So, you know.
That's true. You know, Scotty, I was looking on Facebook.
You gotta enjoy that. The kids can enjoy that.
Looking on Facebook the last couple of days, and you've been bombarding Facebook with a lot of pictures and stuff from a very busy weekend you had. Can you tell us what was going on? Because you had a lot of cool pics.
It was a bowling tournament. Hello?
And how did Harley face bowl during this bowling tournament?
Guys, that was a huge joke.
Sorry, I thought you got cut off, Scotty.
Oh, we did?
No, we're
I
good.
thought
It
you
was a
did.
bowling tournament. All of a sudden, everything went
Okay.
blank. I was like, good grief. I knocked them all down.
I couldn't even believe you said bowling tournament. It's like, you know, he's like, I seen all these great pictures. I was at bowling tournament. Is that bowling tournament?
Yeah, he's healing on us already.
It's just, hell yeah. It was a strike,
That's right.
baby. Basically, had a great weekend up in the New York City, the Big Apple, Queens, if you will, with Big Event, number 6, I think. Big Event New York, number 6. Was up there with Marcus Bagwell, my partner. We were doing American Males Union. I was representing the flock myself up there. Taylor Hendricks, when the Knockouts was there. Our old partner in crime, Daphne, was supposed to be there, but unfortunately she was ill and couldn't make her flights. So that was the one depressing part of the moment. But and even got to hang out with a good old friend, even though he was an antagonist at the time, an NWOite. Dennis Rodman was the first person I saw when I got into the hotel in New York. Actually, I take that back. First person I saw was Shark Boy, and we were going downstairs to the bar to get just a quick drink and wine, catch up a little bit. The first person who walks in is Dennis Rodman.
So he made it out of China okay, huh?
Huh?
So he made it out of China okay, huh?
Yeah, well, he made it back home safely. Yeah, he's been back home for a little while.
Korea.
He got home, you know. Took time to go to rehab for a little bit himself. But he was the funny thing about Rodman, you're going to get what the press spins him to be. But when you see him in reality, in real person, and he knows you, he's going to be the most charming, personable guy that he is. He really is a charming guy. The funny thing was, I haven't seen Rodman since '99. It's probably the last time I even saw him, and barely even spoke to him much then. Was a little bit here, a little bit there. Well, you see the guy. And, when he walked in, I was with Shark Boy. Make a long story short, I said, yeah, he won't remember me. So I just walked over, or actually he was walking to the bar too, and I walked over to him and said, Dennis, how you doing? Scotty Riggs from WCW. He looked at me and goes, shit, Riggs. I almost recognized you with the beard, man. So the fact that he knew I grew a beard and everything else, and he called me my last name, which is what I was good with everybody. We had so many Scots in WCW at the time. We all went by last names. When he just went, Riggs, sounded natural. It's like, you remember me. I said, dude, you don't remember me. He goes, dude, I do, man, I do. And
that's really cool.
Guy patch and everything else. And I mean, that, to me, I haven't seen a guy in over a decade, easy. And as much as, as celebrity status as he has put himself into, for him to remember me was really a cool moment, And then we sat back and chatted about all kind of stuff we did, and he had his little posse with him, and we were telling wrestling stories, and he was telling political stories about China and everything. And I mean, it was really, really a good time. And I just got to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in forever. Everybody from Master Massaro to Boogeyman. He was there, and AJ Styles I hadn't seen in a few months, and was just right off the cut with him. Stevie Richards was there, I hadn't seen him in a while, and the funny thing is, we were all laughing about it, especially me and Marcus, because Marcus just got on Twitter himself, and we were laughing about the fact that here we could take a picture and post it up, within, a minute, and put a little caption to it. Then people around, the United States or the world, whatever we want to put it, we're making comments on it, we're retweeting it, we're favoring it, whatever you want to say. Just the social media aspect that's involved in sports in the world today. Back then we all had cell phones, and it was a text message, and not a picture. You couldn't get anything up until you got home, if you got pictures anyway, to put on your website. We all had websites back then. We all had .com stuff. So it's really amazing now how you can just interact so well with fans, and just the fact that you guys, saw my stuff on Facebook, and some people saw my stuff on Twitter, and it's just really cool to be able to express, hey, here's my friends, and we're all having a great time. Wish you were here, So that kind of gets fans the gusto, if you will, to get off their asses and get to some of these events and have a good time and see us as real people.
Funny thing about Rodman, real quick, Scotty, I was talking to Big Vito a few weeks ago on the show, and he said he is the toughest man to ever wear a dress. Can Rodman compete with him at all, or does Big Vito live up to that claim?
I actually would go with Saturn as the toughest guy to ever wear a dress.
I forgot about Saturn's dress.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other guys who've worn dresses, but Perry Saturn is the only guy that I know that is a ranger who had 103 successful jumps out of a perfectly good airplane. It takes a nut to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, and he did it over 100 times. And to blow out his knee and come back after major, I think it was torn ACL, and his ACL repaired, and be back in the ring months later. So I think it was like 3, maybe 4 months later. He pulled a Jerry Rice. So as tough as Vito is, I give props to Perry Saturn above anybody. Not discounting Vito. He's an Italian son of a gun, but I still give props to Perry.
Something I was not aware from you, Scott, is back in your old Scott Stud days, I had no idea that you actually trained with Ted Nightmare Allen, but in front of live crowds. How did that come about, and what did you think of that experience?
That's how guys used to be trained. I mean, you basically would learn some of the basics. Some guys in the school, or if they're running like say the Sportatorium. The Von Air should have their ring up in the Sportatorium most of the time, and guys are going there and train, and then they run their shows, in their days, and you train in front of a live crowd with the veteran in the ring. And to me, I mean, that's the one aspect that guys lack so bad nowadays that are in the ring. These sports entertainers. That's exactly what they are. They're not wrestlers, because they've learned one way, and that's how to be an entertainer, to work a camera. They don't worry about that. There may be 13,000 people in the arena, 15,000, whatever, but you're more worried about the million or two that are at home watching. We say you got to do that, but when you're at a house show and there's maybe 10,000 people at the house show, you still have to be able to relate to the people at the house shows who are paying great money. And the one thing that Ted Allen taught me, and he trained Arn Anderson, he trained Big Boss Man, Tracy Smothers, Ranger Ross, he helped Randy Pee Wee Anderson, who was a referee, helped train him and being a referee, and he had a great hand with a lot of guys in being able to read a crowd and not just go by, A, B, C, D in the script. Dude, what if A, B, C, D don't work? You got a dead-ass crowd in your hand. You've got to be able to realize what that crowd needs, and instead of force-feeding them something to respond to, you make them respond to you.
So, Scotty, this is Will. I'm the wrestler out of the trio. I've been wrestling for 7 years, right at 7 years now. So basically what you're saying is...
How you doing, Ricky?
I'm doing great. Like I said, it's actually an honor to talk to you and just listen to you.
I'm kidding with you.
So basically what you're saying is when you first got into this sport, they would show you the very, very basics, and then from then on, you just got in the ring and walked and talked and had to learn basically how to call it on the fly.
Basically, yeah, that's what Ted did. I met Ted. I played football at West Georgia, played linebacker, and got my degree, and happened to go to a little redneck wrestling show, which was in Ballard, Georgia, which was like maybe 10 minutes away from the college campus. And Ted was the main guy who was running the show, and we happened to have an ice storm. I happened to go in with my friends and found out it was canceled. And when the guy said, "Hey man, look at me," and he goes, "You ever thought about being a wrestler?" And I was a young 22-year-old kid, 215 pounds, 6 foot tall, good-looking rascal, if I might say so myself. And being a fan ever since I was 8 years old, I pretty much said, "Yeah, I'd love to maybe try to be a wrestler." And that's when Ted grabbed me and said, hey, we train here Mondays or Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have Saturday afternoons. We have shows on Saturday night. Be here next Tuesday. Let's start training. So I trained 6 weeks with him twice a week and a little bit on Saturday before I had my first match. Basically, all I learned was how to run the ropes, how to lock up, and how to listen. That's pretty much all he taught me.
Now, do you think
and everything
that
else
nowadays,
we did in the ring in front of a crowd?
Now, do you think nowadays that's really how wrestling should go back as far as training? Because, nowadays they have these schools.
Well, if you look at it now, I mean, every match has this. It's a shame. Some of the older guys don't do it. Some of the younger guys do, or some of the middle era guys. Let's say the older guys can get away with ad-libbing. Then you get younger guys. I'll say there's Shield and the Wyatts had a great match the other night, and they're young, they're hungry, they hustle. There's no political, influence on what they're doing. They're trying to make a match for the crowd. You watch some of the older guys who've been around that are like the middle guys still, which unfortunately is like a Randy Orton and John Cena, and they have a pattern to their match. Every single match is almost the same.
You're right.
And it's sickening. The way I see it is, and there's 5 simple moves that do every match. Some of the guys have fallen in that trap. And there's some older guys like Goldust who can go out there at 44 and outwork some of the younger guys because he still doesn't follow a pattern. He has his moves, but he intertwines them with what everybody else is doing and tells a story in the match instead of telling moves in the match.
Yeah, you're right. Well, nowadays with and I'm not saying all of them, but when I was trained, the first training school I went to, they basically told you learn 5 moves really well and do those moves, and then you can always build on top of them. Not saying you can't go back to the basics, but that you didn't have to learn 1,000 moves from the get-go. Like, everybody can't be Dean Malenko and know 1,000 moves. All you really needed in the match was 5 moves and then work around that.
I was never taught that or never learned it that way. The way Ted taught me was be solid in everything you do. Create a few moves that are of your own, yes, but don't make them go into a pattern. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Ric Flair has his 5 moves or 6 moves that he always did, but he always used them at different times and different spots of a match instead of like when it comes time for Cena's comeback, it's the same boom, boom, boom. Same thing with Orton, boom, boom, boom. But if you watch some of the other guys, and you would want to lump Goldust into it, but what is Goldust done? At 44 years old, he's going in there after being, all the stuff he's put his body through for all the years. He's pulling the Hurricane Run out. He's doing a lot of different moves. You can't sit back and look at his match and go, uh-oh, he's going home now, or here comes his finish, or anything like that, because he intertwined it. CM Punk is the same way. He's learned to perfect his craft that he can really make it happen out of nowhere. Some guys you can watch a match, the finish is coming just by the way their match goes. And that does not suspend any disbelief. And that's what wrestlers are supposed to have, the craft that they could suspend that disbelief that anywhere in a match the finish could come up. And it's not, and you never know which finish it could be. You have to be able to really fool the people that way. Now, I don't want to say fool them, but you have to make them believe in what you're doing so much that they get lost in what you're doing. It's like getting lost in a great movie. You don't know the end of the movie's coming up. So if you ever watched Texas Chainsaw, the beginning, not the first one with Jessica Biel, but the second one with the other group, where somehow, some way, Leatherface has got a spot because it's the telling of the birth of Leatherface. And at the very end, when you see, what's her name, she's in the car and she sees the people that can save her. You're thinking, what's going to happen? All of a sudden, boom, a chainsaw comes through the thing, kills her, she runs over to people that can save her, and Leatherface limps off. You go, oh my God, what an ending. You knew he had to survive somehow, but you didn't know how. And that ending came out of there like that, and it had you because you were so much into it, you believed it. I mean, that's an extreme case or extreme example there, but it's got to have that to it.